Morning guys, Sunday the 9th of August 2020 and it's now 5:30 in the morning. Been awake quite a bit last night, but I feel like I've had enough sleep, believe it or not. I know it sounds rather crazy. So I'm just going to go up there, get to the allotment, and we're going to go and get the grass cut again. Pull the right-on mower out and get the grass cut while it's cool. So we'll see you shortly, guys. Right guys, I just thought I'd give you a look at how long this grass is again, just since last week. That gives you an idea of just how long it is. As you can see, it's quite significant, but at least I'm getting it on the first pass this time, so it's just going to be a once over. But that's in 1 week already, and it is several inches high. I better crack on, guys. I'll see you later. Right guys, finally got it all cut down. The chicken pen and this one again. We certainly don't want it to be raining and then sunshine, rain and sunshine, rain and sunshine all through the week again. Otherwise, next week I'm going to have to pull the lawnmower out yet again. See you in a minute, guys. Right guys, that was a productive morning. As you know, I set off about 5:30 this morning, and it's now 8:15 in the morning. But I've never stopped since I got here. So I got all the birds fed and watered first of all. Got all that sorted out. That took me about an hour and a half. Didn't even come for a cup of coffee. Pulled the ride-on mower out and just got started. And the grass was extremely wet with the dew. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it done before the heat of the sun gets up. And thankfully I think I've managed to do that. I've still got a bit of a sweat on. But yeah, it's all sorted. At least that's the grass cut back for at least another week, so potentially a fortnight. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Right, so yesterday guys, I think I mentioned in a video that I'm definitely thinking about making some sacrifices up here now. It really is getting too much for me. And like I say, 10 years ago I could run around here like a school kid, and I could do all of this and then some. I'd still have spare time on my hands, but it's taken a full weekend now. It's a job. It isn't fun anymore. So I have decided that if I don't get rid of the pigeons entirely, which is every possibility I will, everything, then I might keep 10 birds, 20 at tops. Now I've said this before, but it really is, it's getting too much guys. Like I said, an hour and a half this morning, and that's just to feed and water. By the time you scraped, cleaned all the drinkers out and put fresh water in, and measured out all the corn for the birds and everything, and for all of those lofts, and then feed the chickens and do the same with the drinker for the chickens. It's I get the satisfaction from the racing pigeons, but I get production out of the hens. So the hens, it was a toss up, and the hens are less work. The hens you can put on a bed, deep litter system, leave them to their own devices, guys. They feed themselves in the grass, and yes, you've got to have food and water, but you collect eggs and the production. So it's something in return. Whereas with the pigeons, the only return I get, it's an immense one. I enjoy the birds, but unfortunately, the workload versus the enjoyment of the racing pigeons, which is now it isn't just the pigeons, it's everything else that I'm doing. but I'm thinking that the pigeons need to go now, guys. So there's every possibility the whole lot will go, and we can put the sheds to good use for something else, but we might even dismantle a couple of the sheds and sell them as well. Try to make it as simple as I can for myself. I'm not sure yet, guys, but that's the intentions. Unless things change drastically and quickly, then that's probably what's going to happen, guys. Today probably is only going to be a short video. I'm not quite sure what else I'm going to get done today. I'm going to have this cup of coffee. You can probably hear the kettle churning away in the background there now. Really need this cup of coffee, and then I'm going to make a decision to either do something else or go down home. But for now, guys, keep watching, and I will come back to you with some form of an update. I'll see you later, guys. Right, guys, I've decided one more big major job I'm going to do is to get the chickens out, cleaned out. But as you can see, this is compost already. It's absolutely bone dry, and as long as the birds are dry like this, they won't ail anything, guys. It's when it gets wet that you've got to keep on top of it. So this is, I think, somewhere near 6 months now, and as you can see, we've got several compost bins full. But it's due clean now, guys. To be honest, I could have left it longer, but it's absolutely bone dry, and it's as good as compost, guys. That could go right on the garden, to be honest. It's well broken down with the wood chip. It's just really, really bone dry. But yeah. What I also done is I made these perches, you might have seen in an earlier video. They go right across the back there, but I made them so that they're actually on hinges. It's just a screw through the ends into a centre post over there, and they simply swing up. So they swing up, and then I just screw them to the roof with a screw in the bottom of the legs, and that just gets them up out of my way and makes life easier for cleaning out. Right, so I'm just going to crack on, guys, and get this job jobbed, and this really will be a good job for another 3 to 6 months. See you later, guys. Right, guys, as you can see, it's 12 o'clock, 10 to 12 now, and it's taken me this long to get the chickens cleaned out. I've had to keep stopping for frequent rests and another cup of coffee. But basically, we've got them mucked out now, at least, anyways. And we've been using the bedding that we're taking out, going into the compost bins and mixing it with the tatty skins we threw in there at an earlier date, the tatty stalks that we had basically from the earlies that started breaking down, but we've laid it the best we can. But you can see we're just starting to put the new bedding back in here now, guys. But I need to go and have 10 minutes, 15 minutes rest or something. Then we'll come back and get this finished off, guys. And then I'm calling it a day. Hey guys, as you can see, the state of me, I'm absolutely melting. It's got really, really warm today. Just need to get this mask off. Wow. The beauty about this is, yeah, it's hard work. When you come to do it, especially in this heat. It wasn't the ideal day to do this, to be honest with you, but then I wanted it done, and it was time for it to be done, and I can get the other compost bins set in motion at the same time. So the beauty about it is it's hard work once every 3 months, once every 6 months, depending, and it really is hard work, for me anyways. But then it's done, and that's it, great. So the chickens are less work, much less work. When I have all the pigeon lofts, I know I'm there on the deep litter system as well, guys, but sorry, I'm going to have to pause you out while I dry myself off. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Absolutely melting in my hair, and everything's wringing wet. The heat in the shed is horrendous, and that's even with all the front opened out. You know, I put the big windows right across the top and the vents in the bottom. there's hardly any front on that at all, but the heat in there is still horrendous. No wonder the chickens want to be outside all the time. And to be honest, chickens don't like the heat either. They've gone off layer a bit. The hot weather actually sets them back a bit, or it does with mine anyways. I've always found that it sets them back a little bit. Once it cools down again, then they start to come back onto layer. But yeah, they've gone off layer a little bit. I'm still getting 4 dozen a week, but it was 7 dozen or something like that at one point. Mind, having said that, 2 or 3 have died of old age as well in the last couple of months. But that's just the way it is. They've had a good innings, and that's the way it is. Actually, there was one this morning that had died, but it was one of the older ones. And as I say, with the brown hens especially, you only get 2 or 3 years with them. I have seen some of them go until 6 and 7, but more often than not, they only last till 2 or 3 years old, and then they're snuffy basically. Right. I'm going to have this cup of coffee. I really need a drink. And of course I had the mask on in there because of the dust. It was so dry in there. That's the beauty, it's dry. And whilst it's dry, you won't get any disease. It needs to be kept bone dry, guys, if you're going to do the deep litter system. And it works. It really does. But it's hard work once every 3 months, 4 months. As you see the actual bedding starting to break down as well, by the way, incidentally, I meant to say, you add another bag of shavings, wood chips, and then you rake it into the existing. And then as it starts to deteriorate again, you add another bag of shavings, wood chips, and you rake it in. Until you end up with what I've got there, which is probably a layer, I don't know, 6 to 7 inches deep of just compost. Because basically you've got the nitrogen from the hens, and then you've got all of this carbon material you're putting in there in the wood chips, and it's a good old 50-50. It might be 60 nitrogen, and but you can always add wood chips, and by the time it basically composts itself inside the chicken pen. It's almost composted. So what I have actually done is I've started putting it into the other compost bins there, and as I said, with the early potatoes, I just literally uprooted them and threw them all in one bin, and they were starting to break down anaerobic, a regular old mess. However, what I've done is I've put so much of the chicken bedding in, and I've pulled some of it back out with gloves on, obviously, and I've put that in, and then more wood chip on top, and a bit more nitrogen, and like that. And I've layered that up as well, guys. So it will just all break down correctly now. And out of the entire 4 bins, if that's what we end up with in total, I've still got a couple of bags to tip in there in the wheelbarrow. We're probably going to have somewhere near 3 full bins thereabouts. But by the time they're dropped down, we're going to end up with about 1.5 bins of good compost, potentially, maybe a little more. We'll wait and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to have this cup of coffee. I'm absolutely choking. I'm going to get these birds finished, and then I'm going to call it a day, guys. I'm absolutely exhausted. So there won't be anything else after this other than a final roundup. And thanks for watching as always, guys, if you're still with me. I'll catch you later. And there we go, guys, all done again. We're good for another 3 months or 6 months, whatever it takes. And we'll just keep adding more bedding in there. I've put down what I had, 2 bags, and that's in there. I might throw another one in midweek. Sorry, one of the hens has just laid, and it's making a noise. Right, I'll see you in a minute for 5 minutes final catch up, and that's it. Right, guys, back in the shed for the final roundup. It's now 2:10 in the afternoon, and the last part of that job was a real struggle. So whilst I was actually doing that, I'd made the final decision. The pigeons go, all of them. they, out of everything, take the most time. They're the hardest and heaviest work of everything that I do, and they take precedence over everything else. And as a consequence, with the amount that I've got, even though I sold some early in the year, because they're spread out over 5 sheds, then it's just too much to look after, guys. Not only that, and again, it's not a monetary thing, but the pigeon corn is twice the price of a bag of chicken feed for starters. And as you know, I can get 10 or 20 bags of those at a time. And it's not the price, it's the humping and dumping of the 25 kilo bags. It really is a bit of a marathon these days now. And then, of course, to clean the floors out on the pigeons, each of the lofts, I've got to lift all the grills out. Now, it's doable. But the point I'm actually making here, guys, is I do one, and then do another weekend, another weekend, another weekend, and I just keep going round and round and round in circles. And in between doing that, I'm cutting the grass, I'm trying to do the garden, I'm trying to do all sorts of other jobs, the polytunnel, and it's all got too much now, guys. So I've decided, I mean, there isn't a day that I come up here now and I can just sit and enjoy what I've done. I'm exhausted by the time I go home every single weekend. And as some of the comments in the sections from the last couple of videos said, I need to take some time out, guys. So I've thought long and hard about this, I really have, but the pigeons are going to have to go, and the sooner I start to advertise them and get rid of them, the sooner the deed will be done. I've also decided, for now, guys, this will be the last video for a while. Not because I don't enjoy doing the videos, I do, and I enjoy you guys following me along, that do follow me along, but I really need to take some time out, guys, and I need to start prioritising a few things, and then when I'm back to my normal self, I will be back, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Right, guys, that really is it. It's time out. 2:15. I am absolutely exhausted. I'm finishing this cup of coffee and I'm going home. Now, I can't give you any promises of when I'll be back, but I will be back. It might be a couple of weeks, it might be a month or two. But if you've enjoyed the videos, you'll keep watching for the new ones coming out, guys. Until next time, stay safe, be practical, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.